All right, sorry you guys. I had a problem with my computer this morning. That's the reason for the delay. Just let me shut this off. Okay, apologize for that. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming as usual. And we'll get started in our easy seat. Close your eyes, lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders. Place one hand in your chest and let the other hand rest on the belly. Become aware of your breath without consciously controlling the breath. Notice how the chest rises and falls with each inhalation and exhalation. Feel the belly as it inflates and deflates beneath the hand. Release your hands to the knees so the palms are turned down. Inhale. As you exhale, open your eyes, hinging forward from the hips. Walk your hands up. You can let your head hang here. If it's comfortable, you can release your forehead to the floor. And for those of you whose elbows are off the ground, just use the exhalation to soften them towards the floor. If your elbows are resting on the floor and you want to go deeper from here, you can inch your fingers forward. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. We're going to sit tall again and raise the right arm overhead. Chest rotates upward to the ceiling. You can look up. Inhale, center. Exhale. Let's twist to our right. Left hand outside the right knee. Moving with the breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist in the waist. We'll press off the back hand and come back to our center. Stretch your left arm overhead, rotating the chest upward to the ceiling as you look up to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, we're returning to our left, bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twisting from the waist. Let's push off the back hand, return to center, and bring the opposite leg in front. Closing your eyes, moving to your chest opener. Place your fingertips on the floor behind you. Your fingertips are turned away from the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Your choice to stay on the fingertips or push the entire palm to the ground. If you are palming the floor and you want to move deeper into the position, walk the hands close together till the sides of the pinky fingers touch. And that's just going to open your chest wider. Engage the Ujjayi breath, breathing slowly and deeply in and out through the nose. Long inhalations, longer exhalations. One more out breath. When that exhalation's finished, reopen the eyes and reach the arms out to the sides. We're going to slide our right hand out first and stretch the left arm overhead. Inhale, center. Good. Let's slide our left hand out, stretch the right arm overhead. Your gaze is turned upward to the ceiling. You're looking upward to your right. Both sit bones pushing into the floor, even the right sit bone. Push off the bottom hand, come to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Go at your own pace. We're going to continue this motion. Each inhalation, reach your arms overhead. Use your exhalation to return the hands in front of heart center. You're controlling the breath, using your Ujjayi breath to initiate and end the movement. Let's go around one final time. Take your time, complete your exhalation. When you find your hands in front of heart center again, in your own time, lower the hands to the knees so the palms are turned down. Once the hands are on the knees, sit tall, lengthen the spine. Exhale, opening the eyes if they're closed. You're going to hinge forward from the hips. Walk the hands out. Let your head hang. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, and sit tall. Okay, so we're going to come up onto all fours, and I'm going to face this direction today. I think once we get to standing postures, it might be a little bit less confusing when I do rights and lefts. So we're going to separate the knees hip width apart. Wrists are under the shoulders. And this is your spinal balance. Reach back to the right leg. Push into the ball of the right foot. Inhale, right heel in line with the hip. Left arm out in front. You can stay here. If you want to move deeper, then the right knee holding onto the ankle with the left hand is an option. And return your hand and knee to the floor. Let's reach back to the left leg and push into the ball of the foot. Inhale, your heel comes in line with the hip. Your right arm goes out in front. And let's go deeper. Bending the left knee, holding onto the ankle with the right hand. So always opposite hand and leg being extended or held. And return hand and knee to the floor. Lower your sit bones to the heels. And we'll rest in Balasana or Child's Pose. Your choice if you want the arms out in front of you, forehead on the floor, or if you prefer the modification with one fist stacked on top of the other and the forehead resting on the stacked fist. On the inhalation, lifting the head, lifting the chest. You're going to come back to all fours, knees separated, hip width apart again, wrists under shoulders, fingers wide, cat-cows. Inhale, lift the chest, turn the tailbone to the ceiling, push your belly button to the floor. On the exhalation, curl the tailbone under, pull the navel to the spine, round down, chin to chest. And keep going with that Ujjayi breath, using the inhalation to lift the chest and tucking the tailbone under with the exhalation. And with the Ujjayi breath, you're sipping the air down the windpipe, so you're squeezing the air down the windpipe too to create a hissing or humming sound. We're going to do one final cat-cow. You can take as much time as you want to complete this movement. When the exhalation's finished, just bring your spine to a neutral position and return to your child's pose or Balasana, sit bones resting on the heels again, forehead on the floor or the stacked fist. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest. We're going to come to all fours, separate the knees, hip width apart again, and go to downward facing dog. Curling the toes under, lift the hips. Bring the weight to the heels, pushing off the hands to try and spring all the way back to the heels and press the chest to the knees. Bending the knees, look in between the thumbs, walk or step your feet forward. You're in a standing forward bend now. Bend both knees. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. This is your upward salute, chest lifted, chin tilted upward, gaze to the thumbs. Inhale, center. Exhale, standing forward bend or Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front. Exhale, fold in half. Knees bent. We're going to step into a plank. Modifying the plank if you want. So this is an option for the modification. Knees, tops of the feet are on the floor. That's modified plank. You can go to chaturanga from there, or you can return to full plank like I'm doing. Elbows to the hips. This is chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. Upward facing dog. We'll bend the elbows, push away from the ground, curling the toes under as you lift your hips, and return to downward facing dog. Gaze at your toes as you press the chest to the knees. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs, walk or step your feet forward. Bend both knees. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, reaching back. Inhale, center. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine for Ardha Uttanasana, half standing forward bend. Exhale, fold into, with the knees bent, palms on the ground, we're going to step into a plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Upper arm squeeze alongside the torso. Inhale, lift the heart and chest for Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. That's your upward facing dog. And bend the elbows. Push off the floor, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look in between the palms. Let's walk or step our feet together again. And bend both knees. You can inhale the arms up, bring the palms together, and lift the chest as you go to Urdhva Hastasana, your upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front. We'll exhale, fold in half. Your knees are bent here, your palms are on the ground. You can step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Keep using your Ujjayi breath, controlling the breath. Bend the knees, walk or step your feet in between the hands, and bend the knees again as you inhale. The arms overhead, palms come together, lift the chest, and exhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. We're moving to some standing poses next. Starting in chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, drop the seat. Toes and ankles touch. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Pull your navel in and up, slight tuck to your tailbone. And exhale, drop the seat. Warrior one. Your right foot stays in front. You're going to step back onto the left. Turn the left hip towards the right knee. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. The modification is to keep the hands in front of heart center. So do what feels comfortable for today. From here, we're going to go to a warrior three. Before you go into the pose, just know that you can either keep the arms alongside the ears like this, out to the side. That's going to be a little bit easier to balance for alongside the torso. All right, so leaning the weight forward over the front right thigh. Pick up the left foot. I like to find my balance with my big toe first before I lift up. Keep breathing, Ujjayi breath. Back to warrior one. Bend the right knee, place the left foot on the floor. Chest is lifted again. Option to lift the chin and look upward to the thumbs. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Step forward into Tadasana, mountain pose, palms turned outwards. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. And we'll exhale back to Uttanasana, so another chair pose. Exhale, drop the seat. Remember, we're pulling that navel in enough, slight tuck to the tailbone. That's an energy lock that you're creating here. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Your left foot's in front, you can step back onto the right foot, reach the arms up. Your decision if you would like to lift the chin and look upward to your thumbs, or keep looking straight ahead. Turn your right hip towards your left knee. Our next posture is Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, balancing position. Remember, the arms out to the sides is going to be easiest for balance. As you exhale, lean over the left thigh. Come up onto the right big toe, find that balance, and then lean forward. Back to warrior one. Placing the right foot on the floor, left knee is bent. Hips squared off to the short edge of the mat in front of you. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. And we're in mountain pose, Tadasana, palms are turned outwards. Place the hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back. Bending the knees, drop the seat. Right foot stays in front. You can step back onto your left as you straighten the front right leg. Turn the hips to face forward. So that means your left hip is turned slightly towards your right hip. You guys can stay in this pose with your legs like this. We're going to add a variation with the arms. You can either, please stay in the posture. I'm just going to show you the arm variation. You can either stay here with the arms, one hand holding onto the wrist, or you can hold on to the elbows, or you can push your palms together and slide the hands in between the shoulder blades. Some people refer to this as a reverse namaste. Do whichever variation is comfortable for you. If you did decide to hold onto your wrist, make a note of which wrist you're holding onto, because we'll switch on the other side. Exhale. Hinge forward from the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. So you're trying to turn your elbows upward to the ceiling to allow for an opening through the chest. We're leading with our heart, and that means you're extending your chest out beyond the toes of the right foot. Your gaze is forward. Your right leg is straight. And continue to use your Ujjayi breath. To come out of the pose, bend the right knee and step forward onto your left foot. Lower your arms, turn your palms outward as you stand tall. Upward salute, inhale, arms overhead, lift the chest, and exhale to reach back. Chin is tilted up to the thumbs. And this is upward salute or Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Let's exhale into chair. All right, so we're going to do Parsvottanasana with the hand variation again. So hands are on the hips. You're going to have your left foot forward as you step back onto your right. Turn the hips so they're parallel to the short edge of the mat in front of you. So if you're holding onto your wrist, then switch it so you're holding onto the other wrist. So you were holding your right, now hold your left, or vice versa. You could hold the elbows or press the palms together, sliding them in between the shoulder blades. Roll your shoulders back, keeping that lift in the chest as you exhale and hinge forward from the hips. You can direct your inhalations into the back of the left leg where you're feeling the tightness. Find space on the inhalation and exhale, release the tightness. Coming out of the pose, bend the left knee. Standing tall, release the arms and step into Tadasana, palms turned outwards again. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale to chair. Pulling the navel in and up again, slight tuck to the tailbone. We'll exhale as we drop our seat one more time. Transitioning to what's called triangle pose, Trikonasana. Right foot's in front. You're going to step out into the left. Straighten your front right leg. Reach your arms out. Press your left hip back so the right side of the body comes forward over the right knee. If you want, you can keep the left arm extended, or you combine the raised arm behind the back with the left hand reaching for the right inner thigh. We'll transition to Parsvottanasana here. So intense side stretch. It's the same posture we just did, but this time we're going to have our hands either on the right leg. You can push the hands into the block if you have that prop, or you can position the fingertips or palms onto the floor. Your right leg is straight. If you find it uncomfortable to keep your right leg straight, you can shorten the base by bending the front right knee and stepping the back left foot forward. Pull the right hip back, turn your left hip forward towards your right knee. Last breath, then bend the front knee, step the back foot forward. As you bend the knees, use the inhalation to take the arms up, bringing the palms together. Lift the chest, exhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair pose. All right, so we're going to do that same vinyasa, flowing from triangle pose to Parsvottanasana, which is your intense side stretch. You can drop the seat once, and with your left foot in front, step back to the right, straighten up front left leg, reach your arms out, push the right hip over, left side of the body in line with the left knee. Stack your shoulders on top of each other, stack your hips on top of each other. Think about being pressed in between two panes of glass. Like there's an imaginary wall behind you, you're pushing your shoulder blades and hips evenly into that wall. Your decision if you want to bind the arm behind your back. Continue to use the Ujjayi breath and turn the hips down to the ground. Notice how I turn my back right foot in slightly so that I can square my hips off to the front edge of the mat as I come to Parsvottanasana. Left leg is straight. Remember the option of bending the left knee and stepping the back foot forward to shorten your base. Then it's a little bit easier to keep the leg straight. But you can always use a prop or hold onto the leg if you prefer. One more breath, and then you can bend the front knee, step the back foot forward, bend both knees again. Inhale, arms come up, palms touch, lift the chest, and exhale as you go to upward salute, or Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands in front part center. We're gonna get ready to do another balancing pose, tree pose, Vrksasana. So closing the eyes, press the hands together in front part center. Lengthen your spine. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift your toes, spread your toes wide into the mat. So we're gonna ground our feet to the floor. And that just means you're gonna push the four corners of your foot to the floor. Both sides of the ball of the foot and both sides of the heel of your foot are rooted into the ground. And by pressing those four corners of the foot to the floor, what we're intending to do is lift the inner arch of the foot. And that'll give us a nice base of support for balancing in tree. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes, stare at a fixed point. You can either place the right foot on the ankle, side of calf, or your inner thigh. Your decision if you'd like to keep the hands in front of your heart center or raise the arms overhead. Exhale, hands in front of heart center again. Bring the knee to the midline and we'll return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Eyes closed again, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra in front of heart center. Standing tall, so if you want to reposition your feet around, that's fine. Find a happy stance with your feet. And then one more time, check the alignment. Long spine, shoulders relaxed. Pick up your toes, spread them wide into the mat. Grounding the feet to the floor, both sides of the ball of the foot, both sides of the heel, and both sides of the, I'm sorry, I think I said already, all four corners of the foot essentially are pushed into the ground. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes. Once more, looking at a non-moving object. I'll have you rest your foot either on the ankle, side of calf, or inner thigh. So external rotation of this left hip now. Option to reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. You can bring your knee to the midline and step into mountain pose or Tadasana with the palms turned outwards. We're going to step forward to the short edge of the mat in front. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front. Exhale, fold in half. The knees are bent, palms on the mat. You can step to a plank. Modifying the plank, knees, tops of the feet on the floor. Lower the sit bones to the heels. Rest here in another child's pose or Balasana, sinking the sit bones further down onto the heels. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Come to all fours. We'll go to a low lunge from here, known as unadjust. And with your right foot in between the hands, press your hips forward. Make sure this right knee stays over the right ankle. Don't let the right knee jut beyond the ankle. Chest is lifted. And you can stay here in the low lunge if you want, or you can go into what's called a high lunge or a runner's lunge by curling the toes of the left foot under and lifting the left knee. Keep your fingertips on the floor today. Continue with the Ujjayi breath. Your chest is lifted. And we'll exhale, releasing the left knee to the ground, returning to all fours. We'll go to low lunge on the left side or Anujasana. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Just like before, Left knee stays over the ankle, protecting your joints. You can stay in this position or move to a high lunge, curling the toes of the back right foot under and lifting the right knee up off the ground. As you exhale, return the knee to the mat. Everyone goes to low lunge and then all fours, and we'll meet in Balasana, the child's pose. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Coming to all fours, separate your knees hip width apart. Returning to low lunge on the right side, right foot goes in between the hands. We're gonna prep to do half monkey pose or Ardha Hanumanasana. Pull the hips back, press out through the right heel. And depending on your range of motion today, you might be comfortable just staying here. If you do want to go deeper, you can slide the right heel forward. And this is, we're working towards a full split, but we are not quite in Hanumanasana, so this is our half split or Ardha Hanumanasana. If you slid the leg all the way out, how you're gonna get out of the pose is you're gonna drop your right hip to the ground, bend the right knee, and come to all fours. We'll go to the left side, step your left foot forward. Good, so you're in a low lunge. Then you pull the hips back, press out through the left heel. We're stretching the back of our left leg right now. Try not to round the back. Spine is long. Head lifted, chest lifted. And if you want to go deeper into the posture, then you're gonna slide the leg as far forward as is comfortable for you. If you can do a full split today, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, you can stay here with me. Using an Ujjayi breath. We'll drop our left hip to the floor, bend the left knee, come to all fours, and return to child's pose, Balasana. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest, coming back up to all fours. We'll drop one hip to the mat, and we're going to swing our feet around to the short edge of the mat, coming to Dandasana. Moving to Paschimottanasana, your seated forward bend. If you like to use a strap, you can use it for this posture. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine as you look forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep your chest lifted. Remember, if it's not comfortable to hold onto the feet, you can hold onto the legs, the ankles. If you have a prop like a tie or a strap, you can place it behind the balls of the feet. One more breath, and then use the inhalation to return to your staff pose on Dandasana. So you can stay with your feet facing in front of you. I'm just going to turn so that I'll mirror you as we go into our next pose. Pull your right knee in front. Remember, I'm mirroring you. As you drop your right knee out to the side, left foot stays flexed. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Chest is lifted. Continue to use your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, come to center. We're going to do our half lorded officious pose. So just a little twist here. Pull the right knee into the body. Step the right foot on the outside of the left thigh. Notice that your right foot is going to stay flat on the floor. By that I mean you're not going to have it come up. You're going to try and keep the bottom of the foot on the ground. Option of keeping your left leg extended out in front, or you can bend your left knee. Either way, make sure your sit bones are on the floor. If your sit bone is up off the ground when you're like this with the left knee bent, then keep the left leg straight. That's completely fine. We're gonna twist to your right, so turning to the right, left elbow outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twisting from the waist. Let's push away with the back hand, returning to center. Unwind your legs and give them a little roll in and out from the hips. Pull the left knee into the chest. Drop the left knee out to the side. Press the bottom of the left foot up against the inner thigh. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, you can use a modification with the hands on the lower leg, ankles, or taking a tie or a strap and using it as a prop to extend the arms. So whatever feels comfortable. Inhale, back to center. Bring the left knee to the midline and slide the left leg down. Roll the legs in and out from the hips. We'll let them rest. And then half lowered the fish's pose on the opposite side. The left knee is back into the chest. You're going to place the left foot on the outside of the right thigh. The bottom of the left foot stays pushed onto the, turned down to the floor. Your decision if you want to bend the right knee. Both sit bones are grounded into the earth. You're twisting to the left, twist to the left. Right elbow outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist from the waist. Each exhalation, you can twist a little further. And then pushing off the back hand, we're back to our center. We're going to unwind the legs, give them a little roll in and out from the hips, and let them rest. So with the heels at the very short edge of the mat in front of you, sitting in staff pose on Boston, slide the fingertips to the knees. Look at your belly button. Roll to the elbows, the shoulder blades, and then let your head rest on the floor. Walk your heels up towards the sit bones. When both feet are flat on the ground, lower the small of the back to the floor. Press the soles of the feet together. Turn your knees out to opposite sides. Slide the arms away from the sides of the torso. Turn your palms up to the ceiling as you relax here in Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining bound angle pose. And now you're going to notice a nice arch to the back, opening through the hips with the knees turned out in opposite directions, and then opening through the chest with the palms rotated upward to the ceiling. For this posture, you can let your breath flow naturally, no longer controlling it. And you can open the eyes again, bring the knees together, feet on the floor, both arms alongside the torso. We're going to move to a reclining twist next. I'm going to move my mat forward to give me a little bit more room. And we'll start with our knees bent and hands out to the sides, hands in line with the shoulders. Inhale the knees to the chest. Exhale, lower the knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. So you're looking towards your left hand with the option of placing the right hand on the side of the right thigh. And that's just to guide the knees further to the floor. If you want to move deeper, extend the top left leg out and hold on to the left heel with the right hand. This is pretty intense. So if you don't have the range of motion today, please don't force it. You can always stay with the knees bent and one hand on the floor with me. Let's bring Bring our head to center. Inhale the knees to the chest. Exhale, lower the knees to the left, turning the head as you look towards your right hand. Our intention is to keep both shoulder blades flush with the floor, especially that right shoulder blade. You want to push it down to the ground. Option to rest the left hand on the side of the right thigh. Next option is to extend the top right leg out. Your left heel is pulled underneath the right knee if you did that, so the knees are stacked on top of each other. Bring your head to center. Both knees are bent. Both palms are on the ground. We'll inhale the knees to the chest. Hug the shins as we begin to roll forward and back, side to side, with the option of lifting up the head and shoulders up off the floor, rolling over the back, giving your kidneys a gentle massage. Then come to center. Release the head and shoulders to the floor. Release the head to the floor. Release your hands and lower the feet to the ground. We're going to move to guided relaxation next. You can slide one leg down the mat, then the other. So we're coming into Shavasana or corpse pose. For Shavasana, the arms are separated away from the sides of the torso, and the palms are turned upward to the ceiling. Remember, that gives you an opening through your chest. And you're welcome to separate the legs here. So the heels are at the opposite corner edges of the mat. You want to let her be. If you want it wider than that, that's fine too. And of course, the eyes are closed. If you want, you can turn your lights off. You could put an eye pillow over your eyes, even to have a nice weight pressed on the eyes. Take an active inhalation through your nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. Let your awareness flow down to your toes and start to wiggle your toes. Let the feet rest. Move to the hands. Wiggle the fingers. Open wide through the palm, stretch all the way out through your fingertips. Curl the fingers in, make a soft fist. Pump it a few times. And release. Let the hands open again. Bring the focus back to the toes. Visualize the healing energy. This energy can take any shape that you choose. Maybe it's a white light, whatever works for you. Just envision this energy traveling into your big toes. Focusing on just this small part of the body. Invite your healing energy to travel to the second toe. Just noticing the second toe. In your own time, guide the energy to the next toe and the next until eventually it reaches the smallest toe. Notice the spaces in between each of the toes. Let the healing energy slide down the backs of the toes and wash through the soles of the feet. Feel the energy massaging the bottoms of the feet, rubbing away any cramping or fatigue that might exist in the foot. As you continue to keep the focus with the feet, start to visualize all of the small bones that make up your foot. Think about the spaces in between each of the small bones that make up the foot. Let the healing energy flow through the spaces in between each of the small bones that make up the foot. Feel the energy rise through the tops of the feet, into the ankles. Let this energy swirl around the outsides of the ankles. Notice the natural turnout of the ankles as you're resting here on the floor, reclined in Shavasana. Let the healing energy flow up the fronts of the lower legs. Feel it rise up the shins, Gently wrap around the sides of the lower legs and flow into the calf muscles and the backs of the lower legs. Guide the healing energy upward to your knees, perhaps inviting the healing properties of the energy to repair any damage that might exist to the ligaments and tendons of the knees. Move the healing energy higher, letting it flow into the fronts of the thighs. As you feel this healing energy traveling through the quadriceps, the large muscle group in the fronts of the thighs, consciously relax the quads, letting them release and let go. Wrap the healing energy around the sides of your thighs and feel it flow into the hamstrings and the backs of the thighs. As the energy makes its way through the hamstrings, let any tension or any emotions that collect in the hamstrings start to ease away. Guide the energy upward to your hips. Feel the healing energy swirling around the outsides of the hips. Allow your hips to unwind. Feel the hips opening. Soften the belly. Moving that healing energy into the abdomen and letting it travel higher, flowing up to the center of the chest. And once the healing energy has reached the center of your chest, allow it to spread out across the chest like a warm and pleasant sensation, reaching all the way out to the sides of the rib cage. Feel your chest as it begins to untighten, and guide that energy higher, letting it flow onto the tops of the shoulders. Relax your shoulders towards the floor. Feel the support of the ground beneath you. Move the energy up from the shoulders into each side of the neck. As you begin to notice both sides of the neck, notice the bands within each side of the neck. Let any stress held in the sides of the neck start to fade away. Soften the throat. Relax your jawline. As you release the jaw, become aware of the space created between the upper and bottom row of teeth. Let the healing energy flow into the face. Feel the energy as it spreads out across the face, moving all of your facial muscles out to the sides, releasing any lines or creases that might exist in the face. Relax the muscle in the forehead. Feel the brow unfurl. Let the energy wash back from the forehead into the scalp. As this healing energy washes throughout the entire scalp like warm water from a shower, feel your scalp start to loosen. Slowly guide the healing energy from the back of the scalp into the back of the neck. As you feel this energy flowing into the back of the neck, start to visualize the small muscles in the back of the neck softening. Let any residual stress in your neck melt away. Then slowly guide the healing energy down the spine, feeling it spiral in between the spaces of each of the vertebrae that make up the spine until eventually it reaches the base of the spine. Let the energy radiate out from the center of the spine and flow across the middle of the back. Feel it slide down into the lower back and guide it up across your shoulder blades. Let the healing energy begin to flow freely throughout the entire back, deeply massaging all of the muscles of the back, seeking out any knots that might exist within the muscles of the back, and rubbing those knots away. Move the energy up from the shoulder blades, back to the tops of the shoulders. Feel the energy as it flows through the upper arms, relaxing the muscles of the upper arms. Guide the energy into the elbows. Sense the spaciousness in each elbow joint. Move the healing energy through the forearms, into the wrist joints. Sense the spaciousness in each wrist joint. And finally, let this energy flow into the hands and collect in the center of the palms. Once you feel that you're holding this healing energy in both hands, slowly send it out to your fingers. Begin to notice each finger individually. So as you become aware of a single finger, take a moment to sense the knuckle joint in the finger and even sense the spaciousness within the knuckle joint of that individual finger. Giving yourself a chance to do it one finger at a time. And once you've had a moment to check in with each finger, let the healing energy exit out through the fingertips, taking away with it any toxins or impurities from the body, leaving your entire body cleansed and deeply relaxed, and your mind still awake and aware and highly focused as you've chosen to turn your concentration to a single point, which is your own relaxation. Just allowing yourself a moment of deep peace and serenity. Let's take an active inhalation through the nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. I invite you to open your eyes again. You can start to wiggle your toes with me, roll your ankles around, roll the entire leg in and out from the hips, and then let the lower half of the body relax again. Move to the hands, wiggle the fingers, and let the hands rest once more. Walk the heels to the sit bones. Raise your right arm overhead, resting it on the floor behind you. Roll to your right side. And we're going to rest here on our right side for a few natural breaths. You don't need to get up too quickly. Just to prevent becoming lightheaded, we're going to take our time. And when you're ready, you can push the left palm into the floor, coming into Sukhasana, the easy seat that you started the class with, or any comfortable cross-legged position, as we finish with a 1-minute meditation on our third eye, the energy point or chakra that's located right here in between the eyebrows and slightly above is your third eye. For the hands, if you're familiar with what you like, go ahead and do it. If you're looking for some options, you can have the palms turned down on the knees. You can turn the palms upward to the ceiling, so a little bit more of a receptive position. You can add a mudra if you want, pressing the index finger and thumb together. This creates an energy lock, but it's also to help with your concentration. And another one is to place one hand on top of the other, forming a bowl, thumbs touching, the palms are turned upward to the ceiling. I invite you to close your eyes, focus on the spot in between the eyebrows and slightly above. During this meditation on the third eye, at any point if you notice that the mind has drifted, which is entirely natural, just gently return the focus back to the third eye as you continue to train your mind to focus on one thing at a time. keeping the eyes closed, slowly return the awareness back to the room you're sitting in. We're going to push our palms together in front of the heart center and begin to rub the hands together briskly. You can keep your eyes closed for the moment, creating heat in between the hands. And once you've generated warmth in between the hands, place the fingertips on the hairline and gently cup the hands over the eyes, feeling the heat flowing from the hands into the eye muscles. It's up to you now if you'd like to have the eyelids open or closed as the heat emanates from the hand. And then at the point that you do notice that the heat has faded, you can release the hands to the knees. Take as much time as you want. And we're going to end here, feeling in the benefits of today's practice. Namaste. Thank you all for coming and joining me. And tomorrow's class is Express Yoga on Thursday from 11:15 to 11:45. And that's just a half-hour yoga class. All right, have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.